Now we're going to look at bags. In order to explain bags, I prepared a little sample. Let's say we have a business object account, and the account has a child business object owner. So an account can have one or more owners, and for each owner you have an interface field called %, and that tells how big a part of this account is owned by the owner. In addition, for each owner we want a target object, and it has a target field called accumulated that holds the accumulated ownership until now. Let's say, for instance, that you have an account with 4 owners owning 25% each. For the first owner you want the accumulated field to be 25, for the second owner 50, for the third owner 75, and for the last owner 100. In addition, we want an exit rule to check that when you add up the ownership percentage, you actually end up on exactly 100%. So this is the sample. Of course, this can be done with rules. As we've seen in earlier sketches, a rule has access to the interface and the interface fields. So it would be quite simple in the exit rule to go and sum up all the ownership percentage and see if we reach 100. Likewise, the rule, a mapping rule, have access to the target results, so it would be simple also to go back and see previously created target objects and sum up accordingly. But it's just a little bit cumbersome. Enter bags. Bags are like rules on steroids. A bag can hold state, it can have internal state for its own purposes, but it can also expose state as properties to be used as values elsewhere in the mapping. And this state is reset every time we start a new root business object. In addition, a bag can have methods. You can have as many methods as you want, and each one of them strongly resembles a rule. It has the same signature, a name, parameters, returns a value, and can raise flags. And in fact, these methods can be used everywhere in the mapping that you can use rules. So going back to the sample, let's say that on the bag we have a property called accumulated. In addition, we make a method called accumulate. And finally, we have a method called check. So accumulated holds the accumulated owner percentage. Accumulate will add to the property, and check will check that it's actually 100. So in this case, as an entry rule on the owner, we can call directly down to the method accumulate. So that means when we are starting the processing of each owner, we call the method and we pass the percentage as a parameter. And the method can simply accumulate the percentage in the property. When we get to the target field, instead of calling a mapping rule, we can directly use this property as a value to assign to the target field. And finally, when we reach the end of a count, we can call the check method as an exit rule. We don't need to pass it any parameters. The check method can just go and read the property accumulated and see if it's 100%, and if it isn't, it can raise a flag that we can react to in the mapping. There we are, bags, rules on steroids.